Hi everyone and welcome back. Here's another in my Unguttables series, and I believe this might be the one that started it all, the Master No.3. This one, I actually recorded a video for this quite a while ago and I forgot about it. And it sat, I didn't publish it. I was reviewing the video yesterday and I wasn't really that happy with it. I thought I could improve upon it. So, here we are. I've ground the studs off, pulled the pins, replaced them with machine screws and some nuts. Key works. There's the bitting. 4-pinner, standard drivers, sprung shackle. Key turns both ways to unlock, clockwise and counterclockwise. And I think this one is probably, for a lot of us, one of the first locks that we tackle, at least for those of us in North America. They're probably quite common. I don't know how common these are across the ocean in Europe and the UK and other locations across the world, so it may not be something that you particularly come across a lot, depending on your region. Anyway, let's get this picked. We'll see what's inside. Tensioning top keyway with a 1.2 mil pry bar. Picking with a multi-pick F05, kind of a medium deep profile. And the F series is 0.5 mil thick. I'm going to start at the back. 4 is binding. Springy. 3 is binding. Springy. 2 is binding. Springy. 1 is binding. There we go. Got it open. Alright, let's have a look inside. Get these nuts off. Not a lot, but some people have trouble with this one. And part of the reason really is because of the manufacturing. It's not really all that well made. Can I get this off? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so there, I don't know how well that is visible. Like, there it is, No.3. Master Lock. I'm gonna take, will this slide out? Yeah. I'll pull the cylinder, set that there. Yeah, so it's not all that well made. It's kind of notorious for that. And part of the issue that people have, I think, is the difficulty in learning to pick with this is that the feedback can be really inconsistent because it's not well made. Things don't behave predictably and consistently. And once we get a look at the cylinder, you'll see kind of what I'm talking about. The pins are fairly well made. There's the actuator, a couple locking pawls, 2 leaf springs in there. Other than that, there's not much else going on. And then the shackle spring. I'll leave that there. So this plug is crimped in place. And There's 2 crimps and I ground off one of them. Okay, so this one here, I ground off. I left the other one intact so that it holds the plug in. But if we turn it right there, then that crimp sits in the open part of the bottom of the keyway, and we can slide the plug and use the plug itself as a follower. And just keeping in mind that the key pins are at the top and try not to dump them. All right, driver 1, standard. Driver 2, standard. 3 is a standard. And 4, another standard. Let's get the plug out there. I'm gonna set the cylinder aside. Keep in 1, 2, 3, and 4, all standards. There we go. Let's have a look at the plug. Not much going on. There's the part of the plug that engages with the actuator in the lock. Okay, we'll set that aside. Let's grab the springs out. They're short little springs. They're copper in color. I don't know what they're made of. I don't know that copper would be... Copper's pretty malleable. I don't know if a copper spring would be all that resilient. I don't think they're magnetic though. Nope, not magnetic. I don't know what they are. Four, and 3. Okay, let's get a look inside the cylinder. There's the back. So there you can see the Bible. You can see the wall between chamber 1 and 2 is pretty thin. In fact, it's kind of blown through. And then the walls between 2 and 3 and 3 and 4 are pretty thick. So there's not a lot of consistency in the way things are drilled through here, which is part of the reason that you get inconsistent behavior from the locks. If we look at the plug, it appears to be machined pretty well. The walls between the pin chambers fairly consistent. Anyway, yeah, that's that. Let's have a look at the pins and close up. Standards all around. The pins themselves are pretty decent quality. I've seen a lot worse, that's for sure. Yeah, I guess that's about it. So yeah, the Master 3, if it's something that you're working on and you find that you're having a tough time with it, part of it might be a skill thing. You're just learning, and that's fine. You know, we all start somewhere, so don't beat yourself up about that. Try not to get frustrated, but also keep in mind that the lock itself is not great. So you're working with something that, you know, requires a degree of patience and skill, and just putting in the time, and you'll figure it out. You'll get there. All right, the Master 3 picked and gutted. Thanks very much for watching. Appreciate it. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.